So the way it works is that you pitch stuff, probably the Bucks pitch stuff, and then Tony lets you guys know what's going to happen.
Yes.
Is that pretty much it? And you've talked, you've said on Twitter and you've said a few things here and a few things there about conflicts with the Young Bucks. Is this the very beginning of personal and professional conflicts with the Young Bucks?
100% no. We were on the exact same page here. I think if anything, this was probably the beginning, God dang, this is like therapy. And, I've kind of talked to my wife about this before and even my therapist, but I think this is where, the root, like I've said before, the root of my anxiety stemmed from sleep. Speaking further, the root of that was perfectionism. And it all started from, and we haven't talked about this before, maybe one day we'll talk to my wife about it, but was the miscarriage of our baby. This was post-Finley. This was about 4.5 years ago. I think that's where the root of my anxiety and probably bitterness towards a lot of the world started, was there. Right. But I think at this point here is where the conflicts between myself and Tony started. And I say that in knowing that it was not Tony's fault. I say that in knowing that the AEW is his company. I felt this match was the most important match of our careers ever. This is the match that people, because, the match with DIY at that point, up to this point, was our most famous match ever, right?
Right.
But people didn't have that expectation going into that 2 out of 3 falls match. They didn't think it was going to be the greatest tag team match of all time. And there's a lot of people who think that now, but they didn't have that expectation. This match and this feud, the people had that expectation. They had that expectation it was going to be the greatest tag team match of all time, or it was going to have the greatest story told building up to it. And I wanted everything to be perfect. And I, at my own fault, wanted everything to go my way or our way,
Right,
and I felt that we knew better. I shouldn't have felt that way, but I did. So I think this is where a lot of my anxiety started bubbling here, started surfacing here, and we'll talk about that later in the show today. But this is where my conflicts with Tony Khan began, not with the Young Bucks. I think more than anything with the Young Bucks, we were on the same page at this point. They wanted this to be as important as we wanted it to be.
I got a couple questions. I guess I'll start with this one. The anxiety, the conflicts with Tony. Was a lot of that from what you went through before with WWE, and you're like, fuck, it's happening again?
So I remember a few of my friends saying, like, in the company saying, oh, this is WWE PTSD, that's all. And I'm like, no, dude, it's not. I would get angry at them for saying that.
WWE PTSD.
Yeah. And, looking back on it now, I don't think it was PTSD. No, I don't think so.